This year, the fourth movie in the Jeepers Creepers franchise comes out, Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Rather than reviewing that movie, I instead want to talk about the Jeepers Creepers series as a whole, and to explain why I think Jeepers Creepers is the strangest horror franchise ever. Most other successful mainstream horror franchises have fairly straightforward premises you can explain to a friend in a few words. Haunted house, killer in a mask, monster on the loose. These big Hollywood horror movies have so many people working on them, and every idea gets filtered 100 times. It only makes sense that any movie, well, makes sense. The premises are simple, logical, commercialized, and very straightforward. You can put them on a poster and people instantly recognize what's going on. On the surface, Jeepers Creepers also looks like your standard monster movie. The first movie came out in 2001, grossed over $100 million in theaters, and spawned 2 sequels. Nothing groundbreaking, but a fairly successful horror trilogy that came and passed without much issue. But upon closer examination, nothing about these movies make any sense. The premise of Jeepers Creepers is about a bat demon that comes out every 23 years for 23 days to chase people in his truck and harvest their organs. That one sentence summary leads to so many questions about the mythology and logic of the Jeepers Creepers universe. Like, why can the creeper only come out every 23 years specifically? Why for 23 days? What's with the magical number of 23? Why not 43 or 13? Where did the creeper get his truck from? Like, did he go to a dealership and pick it out? Did he buy it off Craigslist? Where does he even park the truck when he hibernates? Considering this truck sits unattended for 23 years at a time, I'd have to assume he'd need to take it to a mechanic every time he wakes up. What's that interaction like? Also, when did the creeper learn to drive? And who taught him? And where did this monster acquire custom plates that read, "Be eating you"? Did he have an arts and crafts night and hand make the plates himself? Or did the trenchcoat wearing monster wait hours at the DMV to secure his custom plates? And I know, it's a lot of truck-related questions for a monster movie, but the truck part is just so weird to me. The most perplexing part of all of this is the question of why the creeper even bothers to drive a truck. The creeper can fly. There is no need for a truck. If he'd just fly everywhere and eat for 23 days straight, that would be infinitely more efficient. The fact that he doesn't shows the demon isn't just a pure mindless carnivore. The creeper must have a flair for theatrics. He could fly from point A to B, but instead, he drives around in his Pimp My Ride truck, giggling to himself every time someone reads his joke license plate on the interstate. Another one of my favorite weird wrinkles in this universe is that when characters are in danger, their radio turns on and switches to a channel playing the song Jeepers Creepers. I love this fact. I'm obsessed with this piece of information. This tidbit implies that one of the creeper's powers is the ability to telepathically communicate with radios and play a song from the 1930s. I mean, where did he even hear that very obscure song? Does he know how to work the internet? Did he Google songs about eating eyeballs? Did he workshop other creepy cannibal songs before he landed on that specific one? How did he even discover he had that superpower? Does that mean the creeper can communicate with other electronics, like televisions or toasters? Or do his powers solely extend to being an evil jukebox? I have so many more questions. I'm really just scratching the surface here. There are so many more weird aspects of the movie's premise that when you think about it for even 10 seconds, the whole thing completely unravels. I can't even begin to understand how this movie idea came about. It feels like the studio had a brainstorm session to create their next monster movie, and just decided to include every single thing written on the whiteboard. Wears a trench coat and hat? Sure. Has his own customized Batman batarangs? Add it to the script. Has electronic-based telepathy? Throw that in too. I mean, even just take the title of this franchise, Jeepers Creepers. What an insane title for a movie. It is a miracle that people saw that title on a horror poster and still went to go see it. And yet somehow, even stranger than what we see in the actual movies, is what went on behind the scenes. One very weird fact is that this movie's executive producer was Francis Ford Coppola. Yes, the director of the Godfather trilogy, was also directly behind the Jeepers Creepers trilogy. Something else I feel obligated to mention during this section about Jeepers Creepers is the director's personal life. While the rest of this video was lighthearted and goofy, the truth behind this movie's director is extremely disturbing. For those that don't know, director Victor Salva was charged with and pleaded guilty to having sex with a minor and possession of child pornography. While you may assume that ended his career, what's even more shocking is the fact that that happened before he directed Jeepers Creepers 1, 2, and 3. Salva went to jail for these crimes against minors and then went on to direct the Jeepers Creepers trilogy. That fact is absolutely mind-blowing, disgusting, and depressing. After laying out all that information, I can't think of a weirder horror series than Jeepers Creepers. The premise of a demon who dresses like Van Helsing and rather than fly around, instead drives a customized truck to eat people's livers is so strange. The more you think about the premise, the more questions about how any of this works or came to be emerges. Then when you throw in the truly bleak, disgusting, and disturbing behind-the-scenes story of the director, it is all just unbelievable these movies even exist. Though, thankfully, after 3 movies, the pedophile director is no longer behind the camera. The 4th movie is being directed by someone else, and I'm honestly somewhat excited to see how Jeepers Creepers adds to its already bonkers universe. What insane additions to the premise will it add? Will the creeper get a girlfriend? Will the creeper travel back in time? Will there be some kind of Jeepers Creepers Godfather crossover and a new cinematic universe where Don Corleone battles our trench-coated demon? Well, I guess we'll have to find out when Jeepers Creepers Reborn hits theaters. Anyways, those are my thoughts, and now I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the franchise? Have you seen Jeepers Creepers? Can you think of a weirder horror series? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you stumbled upon this video, please consider subscribing to my channel, Flicks with Nick. I post new horror rants, reviews, commentaries, and deep dives on Fridays. As well on Mondays, I post quick 2-minute recommendations for horror movies available to watch on Netflix, Shudder, and Amazon Prime. Thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.